Hello, and welcome back for another adventure in the cookie jar. Today we're doing recipe 8.1 out of the Devil's Food Cake Murder. We are making the orange creams. Next week we'll make the lemon creams. There is quite a lot of pages for this recipe. I'm pretty sure this recipe is given to Hannah by somebody in England for the way the recipe is written. You are having to chill the dough for an hour or two, but for the cookies, you're going to want 2/3 cup ultra-fine baker's sugar, which if you don't have ultra-fine baker's sugar, you don't have to crank up the car and run to the store to get some. Simply put some white granulated sugar in the food processor and soup it up with a steel blade and measure it out and use it in this recipe. You have to measure after processing because the granules will be smaller and you'll get a bit more sugar to the cup. In England, this is called caster sugar. Every time I try to do this, I always end up with powdered sugar, but luckily enough, I have never seen this before, so I'm really glad they had it. They had this. So I was really surprised to find that. And it comes in a handy little tub. So you're gonna want 2/3 cup of that, a cup of salted butter softened, 1 egg yolk lightly beaten, 2 teaspoons of orange or lemon juice or an orange or lemon fruit liqueur. I'm using triple sec, a zest of 1 lemon or orange. I measured mine after zesting. It was a little less than half a teaspoon. 2 1/4 cups all-purpose flour. Scoop it up and level it off with a table knife. Don't pack it down, which is very different from all of her other recipes. The zest is the colored part of the rind. Try to only grate the colored part, not the white part underneath. The white part is bitter. For the sandwich cream frosting, you're going to need 1/3 cup of salted butter softened, 4 1/2 cups powdered confectioner sugar. No need to sift unless it has big lumps. In England, this is called icing sugar. 4 tablespoons, that's 1/4 cup of milk or light cream, 1 1/2 teaspoons of orange or lemon juice or fruit liqueur. Again, I'm just going to use triple sec. You're going to make your cookie dough, and then it's got a part about round the dough up in the mixing bowl, divide it into 2 parts, pat the 2 parts into balls, wrap the balls in plastic wrap and refrigerate them for an hour or so. When you're ready to bake, preheat oven to 375. On a floured board, roll out the dough just like pie crust to 1/8 of an inch. Use a round cookie cutter or the rim of a drinking glass to cut out dough circles. They have an alternate route. We're going to do the alternate route because I'm just not a fan of rolling out cookies and all that work if I don't have to. It also says, for those of you who don't like to make rolled cookies, let your dough come up to room temperature and then use a 2-teaspoon scooper to make dough balls. Place them on a standard size cookie sheet sprayed with Pam or another nonstick cooking spray or on a parchment covered cookie sheet. You should have no more than 12 dough balls to a cookie sheet. Flatten the dough balls with the spatula or the bottom of a drinking glass. Press down until they're approximately 1/8 of an inch thick. Bake the cookies at 375 for 8 to 10 minutes until they're very slightly golden. Take the cookies out, let them cool for 5 minutes on the sheet, and then transfer them to a wire rack. To make the frosting, you basically beat the butter until it's fluffy. Measure powdered sugar, scoop it off and level it off the cup as you measure, but don't bother sifting unless it's got big lumps. Beat in approximately half of powdered sugar, and then you're going to want half the milk, and then your juice or liqueur. You're going to put the remaining powdered sugar in, and then it says you're going to mix in the rest of the milk slowly because you may not need it all. You just want a spreading consistency. If you mess it up, add more powdered sugar. If it's too powdery, add more milk. And it says once your cookies are thoroughly cooled, spread a small amount of frosting on the wrong side of a cookie. That's the bottom part. The wrong side, another cookie on top, making a sandwich cookie. Kelly Ann says that this cookie dough can be frozen for up to 6 weeks and that frosting can be frozen for the same amount of time. She tends to stamp out her shapes, then store them between layers of grease-proof paper. I'm guessing this is wax paper before freezing. She writes, this way I can have 1 or 2 freshly baked cookies anytime I feel like it without having to make a whole batch. Yield 2 dozen 2-inch round lemon or orange sandwich creams or 1 dozen 3-inch round lemon or orange sandwich creams. You're either getting 2 dozen or 1 dozen based on the 2-inch or 3-inch. But like I said, alternatively, I don't see why you couldn't roll them into logs and slice them. I'm not going to do that either. I'm just going to scoop them and flatten them. I just like that way better personally. Yeah, so everything's laid out. Let's get started. This is everything, both the cookies and the frosting. So the first thing we're going to want to do is the sugar and the salted butter. Butter. in our sugar. Next, we want the egg yolk. The juice or liquor, and the zest. Just to add the flour in half increments, I'm just going to shake about a third of it in and just do it in 3 parts. I'm not going to bother measuring it. All right, that's all there is to this. I'm just going to scrape off the beaters, cover it up, and pop it in the fridge for an hour. See you then. Okay, we are back. It has been a little over an hour. It didn't really make a lot of cookie dough, so I don't think we're gonna get very many sandwiches out of this, but we shall see. It's like the perfect consistency right now. It is super hot in the middle of a heat wave, so I'm gonna try to get this done quickly. I do need to flatten them by the old-fashioned water trick. Maybe that'll help. Here we go. We got 34 cookies. So it should make 12, about 17 sandwich cookies. Now it is time to make frosting. So the first thing we're going to do is throw our butter into our mixer. We're going to want to beat that until it's fluffy. I don't know if we're getting fluffy. It's halfway to melted. Oh no! We want about half of this. We're going to add half of our milk. The orange juice or liqueur you're using. It's time for the rest of the powdered sugar. We have a very stiff frosting at this point, and it says to slowly add in the milk to get a spreading consistency. I'm seeing the consistency I want. Let's have about that much milk left over.
So I did lose the audio for this portion of the video. The cookies though were really good. They have a nice subtle orange flavor. I wonder if I'd actually use the orange juice if it would have been stronger or not, but they were really good. They're crisp and they're sweet, a little too much filling, but I feel like that on most sandwich cookies. I have my little helper. He enjoyed them too. As you can see, we have the big smiles. We will be doing the lemon creams next week. They are pretty much exactly the same, but with a lemon instead of an orange. I hope you are interested in joining us next week and seeing how those ones turn out and maybe seeing which ones are better. Hope y'all have a good one. Bye, y'all.